Over the next few minutes, we will show you how simple it is to retrieve, analyze, and quote a DLA solicited item. Let's start by opening up the Defense Logistic Agency Bidding System, or DLABS for short. Next, we're going to upload the government solicitations for June 3rd, 2008. Please note that I use a service that filters solicitations by cage code and by federal stacking code and sends them in text file through a desktop program that they offer. Certainly we can always customize how you receive your solicitations and upload them to DLABS. Okay, we've just about uploaded the solicitations and they're almost ready for analysis and processing. DLABS has already posted the first item for us, and that's what we are looking at now. Just a quick overview of the screen that we're looking at. Up at the top here in the section called Purchase Requisition Number, we have our unique record identifier. This is the Microsoft Access primary key that identifies and is unique to each record. Next to that is the Purchase Requisition Number. Now, the reason we don't use the PR number as the unique identifier is because if a PR number is not awarded, then the government resolicits using that same number. Experience has shown that it is best to uniquely identify those items that have been resolicited, and this is why we use the Microsoft Access primary key. Moving down to the item details section, we have our internal item data. In the next section, we have the last 3 awards for this item that are downloaded from the website of your choice. This helps us determine where we need to be in terms of a quote to be competitive. Moving up to the top right, we can see our record status, which is always either open or closed. Next to that, we can sort our database 2 different ways, either by the date it was entered into our system or by the date that the solicitation is due. This next section displays your main competitor's pricing and item information, which is downloaded from the website of your choice. The next section is really the meat of this program. This is where the calculations and adjustments are performed to come up with a best case scenario bid price or quote. LSP stands for last selling price, which is found in the awards section of DLABS. We can adjust how much below the last selling price we'd like to be in order to be competitive. If you use a distributor, you can account for their margin as well by making adjustments here. BP stands for bid price, which is your bid or quote to your distributor. Then say if your distributor tacks on an additional 15% margin, then that can be accounted for here. Here we can see a discounted percent off of your list price, again if using a distributor. Below that, we can see our actual margin based on our bid price. Below that, we have a target standard cost. If an item comes out that you currently do not have a source for, or you're not competitive on an item, or your margin is too low, this calculation will estimate where your standard cost needs to be to realize a specified margin. Next, we have a Notes section. You can enter predefined notes, or you can type a note of your choice. You can also add predefined notes very easily by going to the list worksheet and entering it into the proper cell. Moving down to the Substitute Items section, this section simply lists the first 5 part numbers and the manufacturer for the displayed NSN. For a full listing of part numbers and manufacturers, simply scroll down. Moving up to the top, looking at our toolbar, I'll briefly describe the function of each button for you. This drop-down box displays the different worksheets that we can jump to in this workbook by selecting it from the list. Submit Record is used to store the record once we have analyzed and processed it. Get Solicitations, which you saw earlier, uploads new solicitations for analysis. Import Records imports either new, all, open, or closed records for analysis. Open Database opens DLABS' Access database. Activity Report creates a daily report on process solicitations. Sourcing Report summarizes those items that are not currently available and that need a source. Standard Calculator opens the Windows calculator. Email Quote uses Microsoft Outlook to email the displayed solicitation by automatically creating a new mail message. Web navigation allows you to surf the internet by selecting predefined websites or by performing a Google search. Save Workspace saves DLABS so that you can come back to where you left off. Close closes DLABS. Back navigates to the previous worksheet. Next navigates to the next worksheet. And finally, Toggle Screen toggles between normal and full screen views. This concludes our demonstration of DLABS. We hope you have found this video to be informative and helpful. Please contact us with any questions you may have by email at excelchampion@excelchampion.com or by phone at 586-899-5599. Thank you for your time. This video has been brought to you by Excel Champion Consulting, custom business solutions to suit your business needs.